ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a brief video. Due to the fact that this is a health channel, I like to talk about health, and let's do a little health rant. Let's do kind of a almost philosophical health rant. I'm sitting here, got a little bit of distilled water. I do drink filtered water, but distilled water is definitely my favorite. Huge proponent of distilled water, huge proponent of filtered water as well. It's amazing how much stuff you can start pulling out of the public water supply with a decent filter model. There's no reason why anyone should be subjecting themselves to all of the chlorines, the chloramines, the algicides, the cobalts, disinfected byproducts, all the fluorine, fluoride, the runoff, scaling lime. It's a joke. With such a simple fix, you can, with such a simple investment, you can get rid of so many of the pollutants that are accelerating a handful of different pathologies and different, even diseases. So tap water, just because it's clear, just because you can't see anything floating around in it, doesn't mean that it's not damaging your genetics exponentially. So, speaking kind of philosophically about health, health is a choice, it's a decision, and it's the most rewarding and most fascinating journey I think that anyone can ever go on, to actually try to get your body to a state of absolute radiant health, and to see what type of life that can produce. Because a lot of people are literally in a state of dis-ease. They don't have ease, they're stiff, they're inflamed, they don't feel good. Depression is huge here in the Matrix, anxiety issues. There's a lot of factors happening right now within the human culture, the human species, in relation to bad health that really don't have to be there, in my opinion. And the only way that we're going to get away from that is if we take responsibility for our own health, instead of buying into the idea that you just run to a doctor when you get sick, as if that's going to help you or fix your problem that is 9 times out of 10 a byproduct of unhealthy living. So more and more people need to catch on to the fact that their diets, their lifestyles, the water that they're drinking, the toxic products, hair care products, the toxic products in their houses are accelerating a lot of these issues. And a lot of these issues that people are having that they believe are genetic are actually a byproduct of unhealthy living. So to me, the simple solution would be, if you're sick, to look at what you're currently eating, consuming, whether, My solution to the problem is, if you're sick, you currently look at the things in your life that you're doing. What are you eating? What are you drinking? What type of people are you hanging around with? Are you doing drugs? Are you doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing? And if you're doing those things in excess, if you're eating all the wrong foods all the time, if you've been drinking tap water your whole life with all of the cancer exciting constituents and the accumulative poisons, put 2 and 2 together. Do you really think that this machine was designed to constantly digest and filter all these waste products out of your system without it producing a negative health consequence? The liver is under a huge attack here in the Matrix, the gallbladder, the spleen, the lungs, the brain, the entire physiology. So we live in a culture, you guys, that adorates and glorifies and almost sexualizes being an unhealthy person on so many different levels. And that's why you can't go down a typical highway or a typical street through a city without seeing fast food joints on every corner, little coffee shops on every corner with the pesticide, herbicide, insecticide, larvicide sprayed coffees. They've set this system up for convenience. It's all about fast food within the main city construct. And a lot of people fall short to that because a lot of people are busy with work and this and that. They don't have time to stop at a restaurant and wait 30 minutes to an hour to have a meal. They don't have time to go home in between breaks and cook a healthy meal. No, they go to convenience because that's what the system has put up. Convenience. And convenience is not always a justification. I can't do it, bro. I'm too busy. I've got to do this. I got to get back to work. I need to go to the fast food joint. I need to get something off the dollar menu so I can get back to work. How about making food the night before you go to work or 2 days before? Stocking yourself up on healthy foods so that you can take them places when you need to go places is a huge, huge benefit. And that is the type of stuff that will keep you healthy, while many people are falling short to these illusions, these convenience illusions. So when you go to fast food places and you do the whole convenience thing, you're paying for your own demise. It's not good. So I like to try to teach people to get on clean water. Take clean water everywhere you go with you. Even if you are still transitioning to a more vegan lifestyle or a vegetarian lifestyle, keep the clean water on hand. Start putting clean fluids back into your system. Start flushing things out. Start urinating more. It's good for you. I like to try to teach people Dr. Federun Bhat-Mangelage's water formula. You weigh yourself on a scale, you divide that number in half, and you drink that many ounces in water a day. So if you weighed 200 pounds, you divide that in half, you'd get 100. You drink that many ounces of water a day. I was surprised when I adopted this formula how good I started to feel after the 3rd day. Now I love to drink water. I never used to like to drink water. Water is a catalyst for so many somatic, physiological, and biological reactions that take place within the body. If you can't or are unwilling to get healthy, the least you could do is start putting some clean fluid in your system. I think that if you started doing that over a period of a month or 2, you'd naturally start wanting to get healthier, and because your body would start feeling better, you'd go, holy crap, I'm drinking more water, I'm starting to feel good. Maybe this is a byproduct of clean eating and clean drinking. What would happen if I coupled this with healthy lifestyle, with healthy diet? So please, you guys, don't fall into the whole convenience thing. Convenience can be justifiable from time to time, but come on. Make your food the night before you have to go out and go to work. Stay stocked up. You can make a big thing of vegan chili and get little containers and freeze the containers, take them to work with you, the frozen container, and by the time it's your lunch break, chances are it's thawed out. Chances are you probably have access to some heating element, a microwave, you name it. So it just feels good to take the healthier route. It's the more righteous route. It's the high road. So everywhere you go, you're going to find convenience. You're going to find unhealthy people because this system has been erected on unhealth. The foundation of the matrix is built on bad health, lying, cheating, and stealing. We live in a culture where people have actually believed that it's justifiable and okay to eat animal products. We're all in this nightmare scenario, swimming around in it, but that doesn't mean that you have to participate in it. It feels good to violate the continuity of what this system wants me to do. The system wants you to be a useful idiot. The system does not want you to potentially unlock the occult powers of your physiology that have been turned off from in utero. I'm talking about the Kundalini, your birthright. The enlightening of the chromosomes, the genetics, the merging of the Nadi and the Pingala Sushumna the activation, arousal, and climbing of the Ida and the Pingala, moving up the Sushumna, the main channel of the Kundalini. The only way, in my opinion, people are going to actually understand that they were designed to be something much different than what they currently are, the only way that people are going to understand that they've completely destroyed your genetics through the food and living in this insane artificial world is if you experience Kundalini. That will allow you to have a schism where you can judge between both sides of the scale. It just blows my mind what we've become. Excuse me. It's really a shame that a species with so much potential has become part of this land of the bottom feeder, I like to call it. We've become a domesticated creature in a false environment, and we've learned to enjoy it. We've actually built our own imprisonment. We enjoy our own imprisonment. Because how can an individual, how can a species that has so much potential to be so much more be free when they're only operating on the most tiny fraction, the tiniest iota of our potential? We're so programmed by this system. We've been put to sleep and hypnotized by this nefarious agenda to such an extent that we don't even realize that we have potential for growth. That this machine, this biological machine, this cyborg, can do things that are considered impossible through the activation, arousal, stimulation, and rising, enkindlement of the Kundalini energy within the corporeal body and the consciousness. So, anyways, you guys, kind of went off on a rant. Don't buy into convenience. Don't buy into what this culture wants you to become. It's a joke. And it may be easy to fall into this trap because that's what everyone else is doing. You don't have to be part of the group. You don't have to be part of the herd just because it makes you feel accepted by them. We have lost a sense of rebellion. Everyone wants to band up with each other and be friends with one another, even if the things that they're doing when they're together aren't righteous. I think it's more noble to be kind of a lone wolf in a world where 9 out of 10 people will lie, cheat, and steal. I don't want to be around people like that. I'd rather be around the animals. I'd rather be around the trees. I'd rather be around the minerals. I'd rather be out in the natural kingdom. I'd rather spend my time studying personally than spend time with a bunch of jackals who just want to do whatever it is everyone else is doing. I'm not trying to judge. But the drug use here in this culture and what everyone else is swimming in, I've been there, I've done it. It leads to nowhere. You turn on a television and the idiot is often glorified. Bad things are often glorified. People see that on TV and try to mimic it. Gets them nowhere in life. This is a mind control system, ladies and gentlemen, whether you believe it or not. This is not just the mind that's been controlled, however. This is the genetics, this is the genome, this is the biology, the physiology. Our genes have been altered. Proof of that is go to your supermarket and start looking at the backs of these foods. Look at these processed foods. Look at what's in just a typical box of crackers, the preservatives, and all the junk, excuse me. And look up how these constituents in these foods damage genetics. We've been eating this stuff practically our whole lives. You don't think that food that's been proven to damage genetics, you don't think food that's been proven to fragment DNA is going to do that to you? You don't think that that's going to have a role in your health? The genes, the biology, the consciousness, the mind, the integrity of the soul is under attack here in this matrix, and they've done a great job doing it because this beast does study. We are up against something that is not stupid in any way, shape, or form. So people can believe what they want. I'm going to do a little bit of sun gazing here. The sunlight is actually refracting through the leaves in the trees like a natural kaleidoscope, and it feels good to get some sunlight into the eyeballs. Feed the optic nerves. Sunlight actually, if you sun gaze properly, it causes the muscles in the eyes to retract and contract. It's like weightlifting for your eyeballs. Sun gazing led to my vision getting much better. When I started doing it years ago, I go through periods where I stop doing it and I start doing it. I'm always intuitively called back to doing it, but I'm never looking up at the high noon sun and just staring. No, I usually sun gaze in the early morning or late night or through trees. Because trees, if you look at the sun properly through a tree, it goes through the leaves and kind of dilutes the amount of intensity of the sunlight. Excuse me, itchy nose. And allows you to do some sun gazing. Excuse me. I'm gonna wrap this one up, you guys. I hope this message can inspire you to go get a glass of clean water, drink it. The more water, the better. Start eating healthier. Become a vegan. What do you have to lose? I'm going to keep repeating myself in these videos because this repetition of a message constitutes mental programming. Veganism, until you start partaking in it, will be some extreme diet to you because you've been taught by this culture that you have to live on animal meat, animal dairy, animal smut to be a healthy person, even though that stuff is killing you. But you love believing your indoctrination because it allows you to partake in a cultural addiction that's been handed down to you through the last succession of generations. You love the texture of meat, you love the smell of burning carcass, and you don't want to let go of it because not only is your mind and your body become accustomed to it like it's a drug, like heroin, but your parasites have as well. Peace be with you all.